Hello and welcome to Cracking the Vault, the podcast where we're going through every Disney theatrical release in order. My name is Xander.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Trevo.
And boy, is this going to be a doozy.
What do we call them? Welcome crackheads?
Welcome crackheads.
There we go, yeah, because we have to make that stick.
Crackheads and crack friends.
Crackheads and crack friends. Gender neutral, I love it.
Yeah. Thank you for sticking with us through this point where it's about to get so much worse, and we're about to just prove how stupid all three of us are. I'm not ready for this, guys.
Yeah, I'm not either. This one's...
We're doing a triple feature today. We're doing 1943's Saludos Amigos and Victory Through Air Power, which are barely movies. And then we're doing 1945's The Three Caballeros, which is kind of a movie. And I don't know. This was an interesting triple feature to go through.
Yeah.
At times it was an acid trip, and at times it was incredibly boring.
Jake, how boring was it? There were so many times throughout watching this, you were
These
just like,
movies
oh my god.
felt like they were so long.
Two of them were 40 minutes.
I don't care.
That's the incredible thing.
It felt like it was forever.
Yeah, I don't know. God.
Yeah.
How are we
Okay.
feeling, guys? What's happened in the world since we've last?
Since Bambi?
Yeah, has anything
Nothing.
interesting happened?
Trevor had his last day at his current job.
Yeah,
Trevor
I
got
started a new
job?
job, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
David
not
said
anything interesting though. It's a
I
job
mean,
I've already had.
It's our lives.
It's our lives. My life. I don't have a car. That's interesting.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a car anymore.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
But just you had
not
had
happy about
Richard
this.
for a good while.
Yeah.
He lasted for a good 3 years
Mhm.
after serving many years before that, and now he's going to the great junk heap in the sky.
Yeah. What was it? What's 1995 to now? How many years is that?
Too many.
30.
It's less than 30. It's like 28.
28
There you go.
years. He's 28 years old.
I knew you'd figure it out.
I wouldn't have, not gonna lie. Yeah, but that's Trevor's interesting life things. I quit my job and don't have a car anymore.
Jake, anything interesting happening in your life?
Nope.
Great.
Gah.
Nothing interesting has happened in my life aside from this podcast.
I am the most interesting person here, so there you go.
I'm not going to disagree with you. Context. So
Is there?
there is context. There is in fact context, because what had just happened at the Walt Disney Studios was we talked about it very briefly on the Dumbo episode. The strike happened,
Oh yeah.
which was
Oh, the writer strike?
the animator strike, which was a new thing for those times. You know, everyone was like actually unionizing and negotiating for fair wages.
Mhm.
And a good
Understandably.
old Uncle Walt was not happy about this.
You guys want real money and actual.
You mean you want to be like?
You want to go
paid?
spend Christmas with your family? No, you.
The documentary I watched actually helps us. I think there were people making $18 a week, and then animators making $300 a week. That's the kind of disparity we're talking about here. That was the culture in the Disney studio. So the strike happens. Meanwhile, we're still in the depths of World War II. America has finally joined since Pearl Harbor happened, and in South America, okay, again, very dumb. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But my understanding is,
I trust you. I don't know anything about history.
in South America, those were mostly neutral countries. They weren't taking a side with the Axis or the Allies. So the American government comes to Walt Disney and is like, hey, you should do a goodwill trip through South America, and that way we can make sure that when the time comes, they're on our side.
Is that
Wait.
Is that really how they made these movies? Is they just
That is exactly that's where Saludos Amigos and Three Caballeros comes from.
It was just to spy on another country to be
Yeah.
like, are you on this side or not?
We gotta love that American imperialism.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's
So these movies become slightly more interesting in that context when you understand why they were made. That's also why we're going to get into it. Saludos Amigos is like half documentary footage because it's them documenting their trip and making something that was supposed to be popular in South American countries when it was released. So yeah, Walt takes this opportunity because he wants to get away from the strike that's happening.
Understandably, I guess.
He handpicks a few artists and animators to go with him, including one Mary Blair, who we will talk about, or I'm going to talk about.
Should I know who that is?
No.
Okay.
You'll know her work, but you don't need to know who she is.
Okay.
And so they produced Saludos Amigos, which is like kind of a piece of shit, but
it's yeah.
It is 40 minutes. It is the shortest Disney movie maybe ever.
Yeah.
Like including live action is probably their shortest work.
It's again, what was that?
Movie.
I think without credits it's like 30 minutes.
Yeah. And okay. What did we think of this? What do you guys think of this?
Yeah.
Jake, you wanna?
Okay.
No, I have nothing to say.
Okay, so me personally, it was Saludos Amigos is. I feel like I should be watching this and like I feel like this is what. Like,
It's a school movie.
Yeah, it would like an English Spanish teacher would teach. An English Spanish teacher? Is that what I just said? An elementary Spanish teacher
Right.
would show it to their kids to like get them familiar with like just a fun way to like.
Here's like a very basic.
Yeah.
Here's the basic culture of these countries.
We don't want to dive too into a culture of this country. But yeah, it's watching it as an adult is just like not as an adult but as now it's just so weird to me because I'm sitting there and it's like there's so much learning going on and I guess it's interesting but it's not that interesting.
It was probably an educational artifact at the time because like I don't think most of America probably knew what was happening anywhere in these countries.
Yeah.
All three of these I bet were played in classrooms.
Yes.
All three of these
Absolutely.
were
Guaranteed.
absolutely played in classrooms.
Three Caballeros probably least so.
Yes, but that's like in the
And
Spanish
inversely, it's the most fun.
That's the thing. It's like I feel like maybe it's the end of the year in this English class, and they're like, let's watch a fun movie, but
Spanish.
still on the topic.
Yeah.
Like that's, and then it's like again, you see the same characters you did from the Saludos Amigos. Well, two of them, I guess, but.
Speaking of those characters, I think the best way to go about this is just to go kind of segment by segment.
Oh gosh.
So, in Saludos Amigos, we have 4 segments. We have the Donald segment, we have the Pedro short, we have the Gaucho Goofy segment, and we have Aquarela do Brazil, which is the best of these. So
Yes.
we'll get there last. I don't know. I guess what did we think of the Donald segment?
I'm sure it's like my 4th note in my list. It's a river at one point. Oh no, it was the Rio de Janeiro, whatever that means.
Wow, you said that in the widest way possible.
Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, the Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
What about that, Jay?
Pretty good, 8 out of 10.
And so at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's the end.
It's my 5th note, and then next is the Argentina border for the map.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, and in the beginning when it's like showing the map,
Yes.
there's the Rio that it shows. The Rio?
The-
Sorry, that's what the homies call it, the Rio.
Hey friends, we're gonna go down to the Rio. You know
Yeah.
that sounds like
The
a
movie?
casino. Is
Oh.
that a
The
casino?
Rio?
The Rio, probably.
Is that a casino in Vegas?
In Vegas?
I
don't know.
I
Question.
swear there's. Okay.
That'll be the Q&A for this episode. Was
Hey.
Rio-
Hey.
Hey guys,
Casino in
use that
Vegas.
Q&A that I have down there for some reason. Is that a place? Here's the question you have to answer. I'm not going to answer them.
I was right. It's.
I'm so glad you know casinos in Vegas.
Yeah.
There's also the Karen's restaurant in Vegas. That's fun.
The Karen's restaurant?
Yeah, where they go over there and they treat you like shit. They come in and say, "Welcome to the fucking restaurant." They throw your stuff.
I've heard of this.
Yeah.
I
want to go.
want to do that.
Yeah, they just literally they're paid as waitresses to just be shitty to you, and I'm like, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Can I have that job, please?
Yeah, I know. I've seen so many videos. Like recently, I saw this one where they didn't tell this grandma that that's what it is. They just thought it was a restaurant called Karen's. So she walked in there and they said, "How may I fucking help you?" And the grandma's like, "You should talk nicer." They just kept being mean to the grandma. I'm like, that poor grandma.
That grandma probably deserves it. If she's saying
Probably.
you should, I don't know. I just get the sense.
I mean, to be fair, it is you walking into a restaurant saying, "How can I fucking help you?" And it's like, But no, it's.
I'd freeze up too.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do if that happened to me.
Okay.
My next photo score is the map. For the first time, I said Argentina water because it was like on that specific area.
Yeah.
And I said 5 out of 10 looked like a map.
Do you want to get into all of your water notes now? Just to.
Yes.
You have so many. There's a lot of water in this. So.
Donald Lake water. It's when we first meet Donald. He's sitting on the.
Oh,
thing
when he's the Lake Titicaca. When he's sitting on Lake Titicaca.
Ha 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 ha.
He said it. He fucking said it. No,
it's that one.
It's when he's sitting on Lake Titicaca and it's like, hey, when you go up here, you may feel all this shit, and he's like getting all dizzy and stuff.
It was a 6. Yeah, it was that. It was 6 out of 10 nice gradient, and then the balsa water. I don't remember what that was, but I copied it from the movie.
That's the boat.
Yes, 6 out of 10, pretty good. So there's a lot of real water that I'm not commenting on because it
Why?
looks like water, you know.
The real water, but real water could be shot in a nice way.
Yeah, but the
I
point
think I
of the
might
water
have-
score
I
is
know.
that it's
Drawn water.
It's animated water that looks realistic.
We see a bridge after the llamas. 5 out of 10, it looked flat. The pottery water, aka titty cock water, 7 out of 10, looked pretty good. Nice gradient again.
Okay.
Titty cock water.
Titty cock.
Jake making the jokes that we're all.
Buenos
Great
Aires
to
water, 6 out of 10, looked like a map, bud. Because it was a map.
It was a map.
I mean, there's a lot of it in there that's like the entire bit with Donald where they're painting the water where it's supposed to look like just blue paint and nothing else.
Yeah.
But it's water. Like the blue, there's the...
I did comment on the blue paint puddle. There is a comment.
Okay.
Next is when Goofy flies over the map. 5 out of 10, sure looked like a map.
There's, okay. Yes, map waters. We can not say those ones anymore.
The watercolor falling into the puddle.
Yes.
Puddle.
In the Brazil segment, or in.
It's with the giant paintbrush that paints Donald.
So the Brazil
Yes.
segment.
The Brazil segment.
7 out of 10, it was very nice. And then we see flamingos. 5 out of 10, it was kind of cool because it was white. Blue paint puddle, 5 out of 10. And that's it.
All your water.
Hell yeah.
Most of them are maps.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? It's a map.
It's a map water. That's what it is.
It's a map. There's
There's
just
water.
so much. There's so much documentary footage.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about the documentary footage real quick? Because like.
Some are, I guess, real, and the other ones are like, this is just a studio.
Yeah. They're especially like apparently the shot of them on the plane, like they forgot to get footage of that, so
They just
had to-
made a plane.
They had
Whoever was recording for the documentary didn't do their job.
Maybe this is just like how they all look at the time, like how all documentaries looked at the time. But the documentary footage feels amateur. You know what I'm saying?
It's weird. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a documentary to me. Like, all of it, I guess it's good for them because the parts that were staged, I never knew if it was actually staged or genuine,
Yeah.
like, what happens.
But they look like a home movie.
Yes.
Yes.
It doesn't look like a documentary.
It looks like someone was walking and saw a donkey walking and they're like, oh, let me...
They didn't hire a documentarian. They hired someone to hold a camera.
Yeah,
Yes.
You just hold a camera and follow us around. This is how you record. This is how you not. And that's all he knew, and just kind of walked around with the camera.
Yeah.
My next note is a little bit in. It's not my next one. I have a lot of ones that were just dumb and didn't make any sense now. But there was one. I have a few funny ones. I like this one. It's when we see the llama, like we get introduced to the llama, and there's like the kid.
The Yama, yeah.
Yama.
Yeah.
It had a fat ass, and it was jiggling it.
What?
I had to comment on it.
The
'cause it was-
llama did?
Yes.
I was gonna say.
The llama.
What?
And then
Don't comment on the llama's ass. Out of all notes to have on there, you just looked at the llama's ass and went, "Ooh, that ass jiggle."
I made a Minecraft joke. It was not funny, but
Thanks for
I
letting
saw
us
llamas
know.
and I said, "Yo, was a trader nearby?"
Oh my shit.
Because I thought it was
I wrote
funny.
in a quote. I said, "Yes, a llama can make you feel oddly unimportant." And I don't know, when they were drawing the llamas, when he said that, was really funny.
llama can make you feel
And then Donald puts on the native's clothes, and the narrator said native costume, and that made me feel not good inside.
I think it's.
He was like, tries on the
Native
native costume.
It is really funny though. I like the part where he's taking pictures and he's just getting in people's faces and like, what's happening? And then the kid takes a picture of him. I feel like that was just out of spite. A child would do that too. If this kid had a camera, he's like, how does it feel? Just like because like, I understand it's like, wow, we've never seen this place, but he's just going up to people doing their jobs,
These
just
are
in the face.
Every person is a tourist attraction to this goddamn duck.
Yes, and I'm like, that's rude, but hey.
I found this short really boring. Is that just me?
Oh god,
No.
the only one I like is
My
the
next
last
notes
one.
is the best part of the short. I think is the plane section.
Oh, yes.
The little with the little plane guy.
Yeah, Pedro the plane.
Pedro the plane.
Yeah.
He's cool.
There was a point where he was in the air braking and there was making like road screech sounds, and I said, "Why brake sound? He not on a road."
Because it gets you the idea of him skirting. So.
And then he died.
Yeah.
And
Did
then
he
he
die?
came back and I said, "Nah, he should have died."
The story would be more interesting if he
I
died.
I do think we should just like see the mourning process. I would love if it just
Of a
became like an
plane?
indie drama of the two parents. If it's just like Rabbit Hole, but with a couple of planes.
That's so funny.
Next is that I have was the Buenos Aires, and then it goes into a building with smog, and it was telling that was like not a worry back then. There was like this
Smog.
it was like the tallest building in South or in wherever at that time.
Oh yeah.
It's that building, and there's a giant smog stack coming off of it. And
Yeah.
it was interesting to be like, they didn't care back then.
They were-
It was like, look at this building.
They were smoking 6-packs a
Giant
day.
fog cloud in the
Yeah,
air.
it's like all the people you saw on that documentary walking around probably had like 6 packs of cigarettes.
It's like
in
you
their
can adjust
pocket.
anything.
Yeah, it's like, hey, here we built a car, but also like don't worry about the black smoke coming out from behind it.
It's not going to become the main problem of the current day at any point.
Ugh. And then I think next is the Goofy section with it's the one that was in Reluctant Dragon. It's
Yes,
that section.
very
How to
sim-
ride a horse sequence.
Let's talk about the Pedro short real quick.
Yeah, Pedro.
Pedro the plane.
Little plane man.
Pay the pet plane. That's
Pepe?
me.
They
Yep.
pay the pet plane.
Is that a thing? Wait, isn't that a cartoon?
JJ the Jet Jane.
JJ the Jet Jane.
Yep, I said what I said.
It is. Oh my god. Wait, no, I know exactly. Oh my god.
It was disturbing
Yeah,
because
it had
they
human
had
face.
they had human faces.
It's like a.
I can't tell if you're
I think
like
I
what is
know.
the, okay.
You know exactly what it is. It's kind of like
A small memory with
it's
planes
like
with faces. Is it like on his propeller part?
yes. Yes. It's kind of like
And his nose
Thomas.
is-
It's kind of like Thomas.
Yeah.
Just Thomas actually has like mechanical faces that make sense for the trains.
Jake, does this awaken anything?
Yeah.
No. It's just
a faint memory of face on plane.
If you get for those listening, for the 3 people listening, go look that up if you don't know what it is, because it'll give you nightmares.
It'll haunt your
Yeah.
dreams.
Or don't look it up if you don't want that.
Hey.
But I suggest looking it up. It'll
I
be fun.
suggest yes.
It'll be fun.
Do it. Cowards.
Cowards. No, but yeah, it was.
It's definitely a short. It just
It's-
feels like another Disney short.
It just like that.
Yeah.
That one, it's. I feel like they make shorts and just kind of find places to insert these
Yeah.
little like stories, because I don't think they probably made it for that.
I mean, the
movie,
whole
but, like,
point was that it's where are they? Where are they in this
I
part?
went over the big scary mountain.
It's
it's
the Chile
Yeah.
segment. So it's like, okay, this is how we're gonna incorporate Chile into the movie, and it's by making a very kind of mid
Little short
Disney
film.
short.
Yeah.
I feel like there's just a lot of shorts like this where it's specifically by Disney, where it's like the little anthropomorphic thing that doesn't believe in themselves.
Oh look,
But
he did it.
Look, they did it.
That's yeah.
That's the storytelling back then. It's kind of like no matter how small what you are, you can anything.
A person.
No. No.
Speaking of personhood and planes, can we talk about the plane skeleton?
Oh my lord, the plane skeleton's the scariest thing.
That's maybe the most notable thing about this short is the gag of the skeleton of the plane.
Because like
just bones.
that's like they're humans. They just kind of have that's kind of scary just to see like, hey, this was a person once just hanging. Like, do you have those chemistry teachers that was like, hey, there's a real human skeleton over here? That makes me scared. I'm okay with the fake ones, but the ones like knowing that this was a person once and just kind of staring at the real skull, I'm like, that's weird. I don't like that you used to have a brain in there. That's just me though. I don't like seeing like real things like that.
You love horror, and yet you've never moved up to.
Oh my god!
You've never moved up past
let me tell
skeletons being the spookiest.
In horror movies, I'll watch someone's guts get ripped out by anything.
Skeleton.
Anything that's real, I immediately don't want to vibe with it. No vibes. No vibes.
No vibes.
No vibes. I do not vibe with that kind of shit.
Jake, okay, so you were saying about the Goofy segment.
He takes off his shoes at the beginning.
Did you call
and I said Goofy Grippers negative. I think that says 100,000 out of 10.
You can't have a grip.
I had to rate his gripper.
Don't rate grippers. Just don't look at their feet, you weirdo.
It was a close up.
I feel like you have a in the closet feet fetish, and you just want to keep like talking about it so you can.
I'm trying to find interesting points in movies.
And see, you're just helping my.
You know, I really wasn't vibing with this one, but then I saw Goofy's feet and.
Maybe I'm better for some reason. I don't know. But I guess I get it. It was a close up of his tootsies, but didn't need to comment on it. You could have just not. That note didn't have to be in there.
Well, it's in there.
You personally chose to comment on Goofy's feet, and I just want to let you know.
On.
Nope, this is a choice you made in your life.
At one point, the donkey gets like in the woman clothing dress and shit.
Oh yeah, when they dance.
Yeah, and she's got cymbals, and she smacks his nose, or it's her hooves. But she's using like cymbals.
When they go clap on Goofy's nose.
So she got a schnoz.
That's good.
Your notes are so funny because it would be like genuine. Like, this is what I think about this. Schnoz was bumped.
This short is also pretty boring.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just sitting.
Goofy doing Goofy things.
It's about as boring as the Goofy short in The Reluctant Dragon, which is incredible that they made it twice.
It's just like, here, learn about these things. This is how these people dress. And it's like, okay, cool, I guess. But then it just goes into trying to do funny bits that aren't that funny.
There is a lot of that, like, having the little subtitles for, you know, every single article of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, on one hand, I can't tell if it's a joke because it's throwing so much at you, or if it's, like, supposed to be something the audience is actually supposed to retain.
Yeah. I think it's a mixture of both, I guess. It's like, this is actually what they wear, but it's funny because it's so much.
There was one really funny gag in this short.
It's then he does the faster and faster.
I'm
so glad of her. I loved when he was like going faster and faster, and his voice gets higher. And then it goes into, and then he goes back into his narrator voice. That's the one that actually made me laugh. Because that part was really funny.
It's like genuinely, like, it's a good meta joke.
Yes. That's the only joke I have written down, because I was like, that one is so funny to me. I didn't even care what was happening. It was just the bit that it was happening.
What else you got, Jake?
Next, I believe, is where we get the no? He said gay at some point. I don't know. I said gay. Yeah. He said gay.
I'm sure he.
They said like this gay happy town or something like that.
I think it was that. I don't know.
No, they didn't say happy. This gay town.
It was funny.
They said something where it's gay because it means happy. And
we're very mature.
And this is 2023, and they said gay, and we were all like, gay.
Well, you know what? Maybe it's because Disney never says gay otherwise.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I think this is when I actually started watching the movie, because the next note I have is vagina flowers. And I know
I have no notes for this section.
That's a little bit further in, so...
The last thing I have is when we meet Jose, and I said I don't like the realistic green bird fingers. And that's it.
No, what's the notes? What happens after Goofy? Is that the...
So, after Goofy, we go to Brazil, which is, like, the most kind of... I don't want to say advanced... country we see, but like I don't know. There's a lot of like fashion and architecture and like a very vibrant nightlife.
It goes in depths about the what's the parade called?
Oh, not the.
Why can't I remember this? The parade.
I'm also
Rio, when you wear the wow.
Thinking about like.
Let me find this.
See, that's so funny. What the heck? Hey, everyone out there. So please comment our stupidity.
No, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it.
I know, but
New Orleans, fucking.
the fact that you have to find it is the problem. I know what it's called.
I want to say
Starts with an-
Mardi Gras. And it's
Mardi-
not.
is that
No,
it?
that's it.
Is that what it is?
I think so. Because I was thinking about an M as well.
No.
And it's the
yes.
It's the parade in Rio
yes.
with the bird movie, Rio.
that happened before the bird movie.
A movie I've never seen.
You've never seen Rio?
I've never seen Rio.
Oh my
I've never
gosh.
seen like a lot of Blue Sky films.
It
is Mardi Gras. It is Mardi Gras.
Take it to the floor. Show you how it rolls. Drop it, no, drop it, no.
Isn't Jesse Eisenberg?
Yes. Yes. It is Mardi Gras. Okay.
Yes, but I believe that's the answer.
I feel so much more satisfied.
I know.
Cut out that long pause we had.
No.
No, we're gonna need it for runtime.
But we get into there's like credits for the song in the middle of the movie for Aquarela do Brasil. The song is written by Ari Barroso.
Sure.
And this is when the movie just comes to life.
Yeah,
and is on a whole other level.
Out of everything, all of my learning, that was the one where I was like, I'm actually interested because it's all pretty. Everything's so pretty.
A gorgeous
like,
sequence.
And I've never been to
so
Rio,
creative.
so I don't know what it's like, but I'm sure it's like, yes, it's probably exaggerated a little bit, but still, it's very fun to look at.
And
what were you doing under there?
Seeing that,
I was trying to pull up my pants.
like, there's something so satisfying about seeing art come to life.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's scary if you think about it. Art coming to life. Imagine like
A little bit.
drawing a knife child.
Oh my god, the vagina flowers.
The vagina flowers. The weird lipping.
It draws lips on the
Flowers.
flowers, which is fine. I'm sure that's what they look like, and then they speak.
And then it fades out the flower parts, and there's just red lips.
It's 3 vaginas on screen, and I'm sure they
They
know, Freud once said, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, and I disagree. A cigar is never a cigar. Sometimes a flower is absolutely a vagina.
Yeah, a flower's not a flower. A vagina is.
What was that tangent?
Sorry, I just had a stroke. You know what? No, I said what I said. A vagina is a vagina. A flower is also a vagina.
It's also a flower.
No.
A flower is not a flower?
No, flowers don't exist. There's just vaginas.
Do you have any like specific favorite like images from this segment? Like
Vagina flowers.
I'm the vagina flowers. I'm a big
No.
fan of the bananas turning into toucans.
That one scared
like
me.
that one. It was smooth.
That one made me. It was smooth. That one made me feel weird inside. There's one that was really cool. You know, you should know the one I'm talking about, guys.
The
Come
one.
on, the thing that happens when it looks really cool.
Uh-huh.
It has to do with water.
I
and
mean,
it
the
goes-
flamingos look great.
The flamingos.
Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah.
What a
Yes.
flamingo was called.
I was honestly trying to figure out what a flamingo was called. I was gonna go water to pink bird. That is honestly what I was gonna say, but then you said flamingo,
That's
so
what
thank
they
you.
are.
No, I meant to say I know what I was saying. I know what a flamingo is. I didn't forget.
Yeah, just an incredible, vibrant sequence as that's all happening. And then a bird or like a plant has a bee inside of it, and then it turns into Donald, and it becomes another Donald segment. That happens, and then Jose Carioca is drawn to life.
And his weird fucking finger.
I love that
weird-
game on the DS. Drawn to Life.
Drawn to life.
Yeah.
Jose Carioca is such a great character.
Doesn't Donald call him Joe?
Joe Carioca.
Yeah.
I don't know if Donald calls him Joe or if he calls himself Joe. It's one of the two. But he's so fun
Yes.
and good-natured.
I think so. He sings the love song about Brazil after this one, right? After he's like shown, he's like, "You've never
But in Three Caballeros, he does.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
there's the one part that I'll talk about in Three Caballeros, but the lighting shift, we all kind of like gasped
Oh
at.
yeah.
But that's when we get there. Sorry, I just thought of that and I was like, oh.
He's holding a cigar, which is cool. It's objectively cool. I don't
Yeah.
care if smoking's bad for you.
Fuck the health problems that comes with smoking. If you have a cigar in your mouth, you're immediately the coolest person. That
Not a
exists.
cigarette, a cigar.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Yeah.
Smoke cigars, kids. Smoke cigars, kids.
Smoke cigars every day.
Hi, this is editing Trevor. Don't do that. Don't smoke cigars. Okay, now back to the episode.
Boop.
There's my favorite gag in the whole movie is when they're drinking the alcoholic drink and Donald lights Jose's cigar
Oh, yeah.
with his fire breath.
Yeah, I forgot what the drink was called.
And then it's the paintbrush and he steals the drink.
Yeah. But no,
Kachaka.
Isn't that kind of like a cinnamon whiskey?
Kachaka is a distilled spirit made from fermented sugarcane juice. I want to try this now.
So Trevor, I think you're wrong.
Well, no,
Sugarcane
it is
juice,
sugar.
yeast and water. It's related to
Okay.
rum because
It's not a
no
whiskey.
shit.
It's more of a rum.
It's
Yeah.
more of a rum. It's also not cinnamon, it's sugar. Still close.
So-
I was close and I was close.
Yeah,
Both times. I
were
was
ya?
close. Yes.
I mean, it sounds good.
Yeah. I like alcohol.
There's the whole samba gags with like Jose playing everything like an instrument and like using Donald's hat as an accordion. And, like
That
that's
was
all.
cute.
That's all the good stuff. This segment is so good, guys.
The ending is my favorite part.
I wish the rest of the movie was up to its standard.
Because it's still like learning about a city. Well, I guess not really learning about it, but
You're feeling the city.
Yeah, it's feeling how it is, and not just like here's them wearing socks, here's them not wearing socks. It's like okay, got it.
Goofy's
I think
Rivers.
No.
I think it says a lot that the Three Caballeros is most similar in spirit to this segment.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Out of all of them, the Three Caballeros.
this is the dry run.
Mhm.
This is. Are you okay, Trevor?
Sorry, I think I'm having a stroke, and that always happens in every single one of these where
Yeah.
I'm speaking and words just kind of don't.
I understand.
Three Caballeros.
Now we're three gay caballeros.
He's so gay.
Okay, so that's Saludos Amigos.
Yeah.
How many glasses of Kachaka out of 5?
Glasses of. This one, I honestly I actually did this on Letterboxd, so let me see what I don't want to get rated what I didn't. I said 2 stars.
2 stars.
2 stars.
2 glasses.
I give it
Oh, 2 glasses. Yeah.
2 glasses.
2 glasses.
I hope
Are you
don't-
also 2 glasses?
Mhm.
I am 2.5 glasses.
I mean, out of the alcohol it said it was, that's enough to get us fucked up. So
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah. It's still like a good time. It's just not a great time.
It's not a
you
great
know?
time. Yeah. You're having an okay kind of
You're-
time. It's like I'm getting there.
You're like getting through it.
Yeah. I'm glad.
And then like at the end, once you've had all of them and you're really going, then it's like
I think
a party.
that's where at least 1.5 of my stars come from. The other half is from the beginning, where it was just kind of boring. I mean, it was not boring enough to like never regard it, but that last 1.5 stars is just the entire end quarter of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that part's the best.
But I mean, it's for 10 minutes of a 40-minute movie. It's like I'll take it.
Oh, yeah, it's there.
Okay.
Next episode
Is a shitty piece of propaganda.
Oh, this is the plain one.
Yeah, planes.
Planes.
That's it.
Context.
Next episode.
Disney read the book that this is based on and was really like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
Planes.
But I mean, this whole movie is an argument to the American government,
Mr.
to
Roosevelt
invest
himself.
in like an Air Force, which is cool. There's no reason to watch this today.
No.
Zero. Absolutely none.
It's again, I could see when this came out, watching this in class.
In like history class or something.
I would actually be interested because it's a fun way to learn about something.
Yeah, at least the first, I guess, like 10 minutes where it's the history of like the Wright brothers and
Mm-hmm.
you know the various advancements and like missions and stuff like that. But
I think once you get to like the war part, it's when it's like, okay, this is a lot.
that's also when it just feels like the movie talking at you, like this is why we must. And I don't care.
Yeah.
It gives me the same vibe as just sitting there and listening to a lecture.
Yeah.
Just sitting there and it's like they're giving you information, but it's been 3 hours of class already. Your brain's starting to die out to where they just keep talking and you're just looking, waiting for something interesting.
I mean, pieces of this are literally a lecture.
Yes.
It's literally just a camera.
Whoever the art when the fucking the writer of the book came out and
Yeah.
he started talking.
And
I
he
was
sat
like,
on everything.
yeah, he got up, sat on his desk, got up, sat on a chair, got up, went around, sat on another desk. I was like, where? I don't care. I don't go sit on a chair and talk to us for an hour. Don't get up. You're stressing me out.
He was leaning like.
I guess weird piece of like trivia. The guy who directed those sequences also made a movie called Hell's a Poppin', which
What?
is okay. This is like
Mary Poppins?
this is for me and no one else. He made a movie called Hell's a Poppin'. The reason that's significant is that there's a director named Joe Dante who loves the movie Hell's a Poppin' because it's this like big. It's basically a cartoon in live action. Joe Dante is the director of Gremlins.
Oh.
And also of Gremlins 2, A New Batch, which is the closest we have gotten to like a Looney Tune on. Have you seen Gremlins?
Have you seen the
Have you
second
seen
one?
Gremlins 2?
Mm-hmm. It's the one with the lady one, and she's like a prostitute.
Yeah. Gremlins 2 is so much better than the first Gremlins. And
I agree.
I adore that movie.
I love Gremlins. That's such a cool. That series is so funny.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm still
that was
traumatized when they shove one
Gizmo.
into a microwave, though. That scene still lives in my head as the most terrifying thing I've seen as a kid.
No, I wanted a little gizmo for like ever pre-gremlin form.
Pre-Gremlin form.
The little fluff ball.
I don't know. I identify with the Gremlins. Like I would gladly hang out with them and just cause mayhem.
I'd vibe with the Gremlin.
Gremlins. You know where the story of Gremlins comes from? The planes.
Ah, yes.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I follow.
Planes make gremlins, actually.
Uh-huh.
When a mommy
Gremlins
plane
fly
and a daddy
planes.
plane love each other very much.
They
have
produce a
gremlins.
hellspawn.
They produce a hell spawn.
What is Pedro a fucking gremlin?
No, planes just exist. They don't get birth. They just happen.
But when
I
they
think-
do, it's a gremlin.
But when planes do fuck, it's a gremlin.
I think, or maybe gremlins are like, you know how we all have just some bacteria that naturally like grows inside of us, and
Yeah.
it's like that's part of the ecosystem. Maybe that's what gremlins are.
Plane bacteria?
Yeah.
What? I mean, I guess
It all
not
connects.
as weird as my planes fucking each other. So.
Speaking of which, okay, sorry. Now that we're just going on tangents, did you know Disney was going to make a movie about gremlins?
No.
That's a movie that was.
I thought you were
going
gonna say a movie about planes, and I was like, no,
No.
planes
I was
exist.
like,
So I was
no,
like,
that's the thing,
There's a
it
movie called
exists.
Planes.
The Charlie and the Chocolate Factory author Roald Dahl
There's-
wrote a book
About gremlins?
about gremlins.
After the
that-
movie?
It was specifically written to be turned into a movie. It never happened. If you've ever played Epic Mickey and
Yeah.
wondered why there are gremlins in the wasteland,
Yeah.
that's why. What does any of this have to do with victory through air power? Nothing. We're
No,
just trying to. I'm
the
just
creator
trying
of
to get this going.
Gremlins liked a movie that this guy directed.
That's the
the connection.
connection.
Yeah. There
Sorry,
we go.
me and Jake are gonna kiss right now. Sorry, that was weird.
that is the connection.
Me and Jake kissing all leads back to planes and gremlins. This is why we have to kiss, Jay.
The only other thing I want to bring up about this movie is it was apparently nominated for an Academy Award for Best Score.
Was it?
I didn't even listen to the score. You want to know?
The score sounded
Yeah,
like
I know you're
nothing.
saying get off the notes, but I'm gonna have.
No, go for it.
You know the one note I have? War is bad. Don't do it.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I wrote down. That's all I wrote.
You're speaking the truth, man.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, just because I feel like I have to bring it up.
What?
Was this the Hitler one?
Yes.
Okay.
This
The
was
planes.
this was the Hitler
This was
one.
one where I was going to say something. I saw that sign and went shoop.
Oh my! Because they just pop it out of nowhere. So
It's
I get
out
it.
of nowhere.
They're talking about planes, and then all of a sudden the swastika
Hitler.
comes up, and you were saying like something, and you went, swoop. And I was like, what?
Have you ever
There was a lot.
seen?
There was the bomb that was ladled for Mr. Adolf himself.
Yeah, that's for Adolf. That was a thing.
It's very propaganda-y, very...
How much? Have you guys seen any like Disney propaganda? Because this is actually, I mean, this is the time where the studio is basically turned into a propaganda factory.
Is this the one short about Donald having the nightmare that he's a Nazi?
There is that short
that
where he
does
says
exist.
Heil Hitler no less than like 100 times.
Yeah.
I think I watched that in a class somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. Not a good teacher. Not a good teacher.
Oh, was he like and?
He was
No.
not. He was not my art teacher. Although I feel like he watches that and is like, yes, yeah.
Basically, what I'm asking is, what side was he on when he showed you that short?
I don't know. I think I was in elementary school, and I think that's worse to show children that.
They don't need to know yet. They don't need to.
I was learning.
Mommy,
Learning
about
who's
genocide.
Adolf?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, that one.
Mommy, I want to make a bomb for Adolf.
How many stars out of how many?
How
planes-
many bombs for Adolf?
No,
Out of 5?
we're not doing bombs for. We'll do bombs. We don't need to say. You can imply that who it's for, but we're gonna say bombs. How many bombs out of 5? I'll go first. 1. I said this one because I would have done 0, but it's honestly interesting
At times.
at times. It's not like, again, I'm gonna keep like the last one. If I was watching this in class, I would actually be interested in it because at least it's not a teacher lecturing me, even though it kind of is at some points.
For sure.
But it has the 1 star just because of it could be something, but it's not right now.
Right.
No, I completely agree. One
One-
bomb for Adolf.
No, 4, just bum, just bum.
One bomb for Adolf.
I truly don't know how to rate. It's not a movie. I don't know how to rate this. Do I have to?
Yes.
Uh,
We can't have abstaining.
Oh, I want to comment that this isn't on Disney Plus.
For when we get a Wikipedia page. For when we get a Wikipedia page and someone's keeping track of.
Shit, I was supposed to keep track of these.
You should keep track
I'll
of-
do that next episode.
Yeah, I guess who has to go watch all of our episodes
I need
now?
to re-listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the same one.
One
It's-
bomb for Adolf.
Yeah, it's
That's, in fact, our lowest for any movie.
Oh, my water score for the first one.
Is-
Like overall.
yeah.
Oh, overall, yeah, huh? Back, rewind.
Um,
Plug this in to make sense.
Trevor, you're talking to yourself.
Yes, I am.
cut it around.
Cut it around. Do something. Make it seem like this was planned. The script. We're not following the script, Trevor. Follow the script, Trevor.
Hi, editing Trevor again. No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, back to the episode.
It is going to get a 5 out of 10 waters on this one.
5 out of 10 waters.
I think this is the lowest one. If I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
I think
And
that's
then
fair.
I had no notes for the second.
What's the
two.
water scores? There was water.
If I had to think about probably a 5 or I'm gonna say it was a 6 because there was a lot of water because there was a lot of ocean part. So we give it a 6 for this one.
Okay.
6 waters on number 2.
I
Number
said
3.
this when we finished the movie. This won't be the worst movie we cover on the podcast, but it will definitely be the least movie we cover
Least
on the podcast.
movie, yes. Okay. Anyways, next episode.
Three Caballeros,
Whoa.
which is
Spanish
holy
guy.
shit, something fun.
This one's actually has ratings and stuff.
There's like actual entertainment value
Every
in this
time
movie.
we watch one of these and there's a warning, the first note I always have is racist warning.
Yeah.
I always write it
Yeah,
down.
early
like,
ones are racist.
It's crazy how many of them. It's like
All
the
of them.
entire of old Disney. It is all like, yo, this is not okay.
Out of everything that we have watched, I think Snow White hasn't had one. I think Bambi hasn't had one.
Maybe didn't have one now.
Pinocchio
Did.
probably had one.
No, it most definitely did.
Pinocchio
Like,
did have one.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
The only ones that haven't had one was Snow White, Bambi.
And
Snow
I
White
guess
and Bambi.
part 2
Yes.
of this because it wasn't on
Well,
Disney
it's not.
Plus.
Yeah, it's not on Disney Plus.
If it was on Disney Plus,
It would absolutely have one.
Absolutely have one.
Why do you think it's not on Disney Plus? Like, do you think they just literally forgot about it, or do you think there's an actual like reason for it?
It's either because of all the Nazi propaganda, and they're like, this isn't important
Well,
anymore.
propaganda against the Nazis.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's not.
that's what I meant.
Disney going
Anti-Nazi
well,
propaganda. And then
Well,
You could say some things about old Uncle Walt and
yeah,
his opinions.
I, you know,
Yeah,
what,
let's not
what
get
I
into
was-
that part.
What I was gonna say, I won't say. But
what was I saying? Oh, or they could have shown it just because of like, this literally isn't a movie.
Yeah.
This isn't made for
it seems
Probably
like one
the
of those
government.
VHSs the teacher would put into for the students to watch. Like that's all that movie air quotes is. I didn't want my phone anyways. It's not
I'm
important.
curious. I'm gonna look up what the next movie we will get to that isn't on Disney Plus is. Hold please.
Song of the South is.
That's
not.
nope. That's the next. Wait. No. The next two are not on Disney Plus. There's a movie called Make My Music, which is going to be our next episode.
Yep, Make My Music, and then there's Song of the South.
Yep.
It goes.
Oh God, we're
They're
already
both
there.
from 1946.
Oh,
Yeah, we
no.
have two of them. We have Make My Music, and then it's Song of the South, guys.
Should we?
God, the middle of the 40s was not a good time for Disney movies.
No.
Oh, we're so close to Melody Time, though.
Melody
I
Time's
love
like
Melody Time.
Melody Time's mid.
Oh.
What one? Is that the one with the giant like band?
What?
Melody Time?
Maybe. I don't know what you're referring to.
It's like the one that you hear on Silly Symphony.
Oh my gosh, Treasure Island was made in 1950.
It sure was. It was their first like non-animated live action movie. I guess that's something we can bring up. This is just a weird time for Disney animation in general because the rest of the animated movies we're going to watch in the 40s are all like package movies. They're all He does.
Yeah.
We'll get to him.
We didn't even mention. Oh wait, no, but that bird's in this one.
Yes.
Oh, okay, we will mention him. I hope, because he's great. So yeah, the next one we're doing is Make My Music.
That's gonna be.
Also, the movie was not what I thought it was, so never mind.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
It's some music one.
Yeah, but okay. So now we're on the Three Caballeros.
The
Three
Three-
Spanish guys.
The Three Gay Caballeros.
The three gays.
They're not Spanish because they're not from Spain. And only one of them
duck.
speaks Spanish.
Because he's Mexican.
Yes.
Sorry, I was trying to.
Good job.
I'm
I'm so proud of you, Trevor.
I'm used to having to correct myself because my boyfriend's El Salvadorian, and I'll be like, he's Mexican, he's El Salvadorian, because I'm racist.
Wow. Way to out yourself, Trevor.
I'm gonna out myself. It is
We're just three white guys doing our best.
Three.
I have limited notes for
We're-
this.
That's okay.
Like a third of the notes I had for the first one.
That's okay. I think we'll still have like a fair amount to say about
Well,
this.
this one out of all of them, you watched mostly. I think it was just because again, this one is more of a movie than it is a documentary.
These notes actually kind of make sense.
Immediately in this movie, there's like way more.
Penguins.
Yeah, there is way more penguins in this movie than the other ones.
There are way more penguins. There's a lot more just like filmmaking and intrigue, just like that opening shot when it's
Plane.
like is that a plane or is that thunder?
Plane. Wait, we
We're
were
not
talking
aiming
about
for
them.
the truck.
We were talking about the planes. They're here.
So the plot of this movie
No.
is Donald gets some presents. That is the extent of the through line for this.
Yeah.
His birthday is Friday the 13th, which does not make sense as a joke, because that implies that every Friday the 13th he's just having another birthday.
It's kind of funny.
It's
kind of funny, not gonna lie. That's just every Friday the 13th.
Actually, when you phrase it like that, that's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, like the thing you just said is actually really funny as a joke. So it does make sense, actually.
And his first present is a projector, and we see some penguins.
The penguin water. 6 out of 10 looked good altogether.
Oh yeah.
That's all I had for this.
No,
I just
it
made
was
one.
This one is this the one voiced by Winnie the Pooh?
By Sterling Holloway.
No.
Sterling Holloway sighting.
Yes, but yes and no.
It's narrated by him.
Winnie the
Old
Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
That's still
I
Winnie
called
the
Jim
Pooh.
Cummings my Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, Sterling Holloway is the real Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
He originated the voice, and he did the
Yes.
voice better, in my opinion.
And it's funny because when he comes in Dumbo and he's just like, I know
Hmm.
Winnie the Pooh wasn't a thing then, but still.
We're gonna see a lot of Sterling Holloway because Disney loved using Sterling Holloway, and for good
He has
reason.
such a cute voice. Like, listening to him talk, I'm interested because of how he inflects things.
But he has so much range too.
Yeah.
Like he plays so many different characters throughout Disney.
Mhm.
The fact that he can be both Winnie the Pooh and Kaa and make them seem like completely different characters,
It's
that's impressive.
he is a voice actor.
He sure is a voice actor.
But yeah, so the penguin scene is really cute. I love it. It's just this one penguin being, for some reason, I don't know what happened. He was like, I don't like the cold. The cold is not it. I'm gonna go to place that is hot. Insert here. I don't think he had a certain place.
I think he just wanted to go to warmth.
Yeah, wanted to go to Warm Island.
Yeah, that thing was cute. And then the next water score I have is for Hornero. I don't know what that is, but I think I
For
just
what?
wrote it. Hornero.
Okay, so that's after
H-O-R-N-E-R-O.
this.
That's after this one, yeah.
8 out of 10. It was super pretty. The water, I think, from the first shot of the sequence.
There's not a lot to say about this segment because he's just like, he's a penguin. He's a cold penguin. Isn't that funny? He keeps trying to get away, and then he doesn't.
And then he does.
And then he does.
And
There's.
then it's like, and he misses his friends.
That
and
was sad.
That's charming.
I guess it's supposed to be funny because it's like, he's never satisfied. Oh, funny because he's going to go back to his friends. But still.
But you know what? There are some good gags in this one.
Yeah.
I like how he keeps freezing and his two friends that are always there for him are just like, I'm freeze him and he'll go back.
I feel like we are those three
I
penguins.
was thinking that during the movie, but I was like, I'm not going to
Who's
say
the one
this out
trying to
loud.
escape?
I don't know.
Me. I'm the one trying to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are the one trying
Yeah,
to
and we're
escape.
just the ones like thawing
You're the
you
taller
out.
one that's like. Let's
Wow,
go.
am I the fat one? Is it a fat joke, Jake? Because I'm fat?
Yes.
Oh,
No
okay.
Is this where we kiss now?
Yeah, it's kind of rude, but it's okay.
Let's see.
It was a personality-wise.
Are there any
Just happened to-
gags in particular that you guys like enjoyed? I think there's there's the fog that rolls in.
He cuts through the
The
fog.
Cuts
fog
through the
was
fog.
funny. I liked when his iceberg melted and he was climbing up the pole.
That's
and then
funny.
I did like the whole bathtub
Yeah,
sequence
he
where
gets
he was
into
trying
the
to stop
bathtub
the water.
and
Even though it's already drowned, he
He scoops
takes
the water out.
of it.
So good. That is.
I think
Yeah.
that's my
stuff.
favorite segment actually is that part because it's so unrealistic. It's funny. You're just like, what is he doing?
It's good cartoon logic.
I like when the turtle comes on with the lemonade.
I have to say, there's at one point, I think it's in this movie, Jose, I think, takes out a hammer, and I'm connecting it back to Spider-Verse because it's fucking hammer time.
It's hammer space.
Hammer space. Hammer space.
Trevor doesn't get that joke yet. It's okay.
Ha ha ha!
You still
Funny.
need to see Spider-Verse.
I still need to see Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse. I need Spider-Verse, please.
Spy for who?
I don't know.
Who's burst?
Spider-Verse.
Anywho, I just wanted to connect that because I think when we were watching, I just said hammer space.
Hammer space.
Because it was funny. So I needed to tie
I'm
it in.
sure it was.
There's-
I'm sure it was the funniest thing that ever
Shut
existed,
up.
Jacob.
Okay. So penguin segment. We see a bunch of birds.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get into
Donkey?
the segment with the donkey, the burrito.
The
burrito! I said flying donkey, very cute.
I don't like that he talks to himself in the third person. His
That's mainly known as the
I'm
segment.
such a sucker for a good meta gag. I love a good meta gag,
And
and
like,
there's so many of those.
In the horse race, when he was going on the horse, and he's like, "Go, you need to look like a jockey."
Look
so
like a
he gets
jockey.
up, and it's just like,
Yeah, the bits are funny.
There's the bit where he's like, there was the tree, or was it a cliff? No, I'm sure it was a tree.
And it keeps changing. Yeah, the bits in this one are funny.
Yeah, I like when he talks to himself, who's at a younger age.
Yeah. These are also.
There was the end where it was like nobody knows where he went, or I, and then he just goes away.
We were never seen again.
And then
The end.
we never saw him again. Like, still to this day, I don't know who that man is, and I'm probably never going to see him again.
Speaking of never seeing them again, that's kind of these segments are weird because they have nothing to do with the rest of the movie, like in any way.
Yeah.
At
At
like,
all.
At least the other segments in the Three Caballeros have the Three Caballeros, and so there's like that kind of through line going on. These are just some shorts. These feel like they're left over from Saludos Amigos.
Yeah.
There was a bit before like the penguin bit started. He's putting up the camera and he takes the film and he just bends it to fit the wheels and just sticks it on. And I was like, that's funny because it's not that
Good
easy.
bits. Great bits.
Yeah, that's funny.
But with that, the second present that Donald gets is a book, and we see our boy, Jose the boy,
Joe
Karaoke.
Joe.
And he asked Donald 900 times if he wants to go to fucking, or if he's been to Bahia.
Have you been to Bahia?
And he's like, no. And then he asked again. And I have a lot of notes about him, me yelling.
Just like,
That's so funny though. It's just, have you been to Bahia?
what?
No,
Let's go.
I haven't. Have you been to Bahia? No, I haven't. I really haven't.
But
So
so
you
I
haven't-
have 2 auto scores right off the bat for this section. Or I think they're right off the bat. They might not be. There's one of them where it was a 9 out of 10. It was a super pretty color. I think it was like pinkish.
Was it in the segment where he's singing about Bahia?
Yes.
Mhm.
And then there was, at the end, there was the water drops splashing onto the water, and it was an 8 out of 10. It had a really cool aesthetic. It was like,
me of Bambi.
it wasn't water, it was just like clean rings that came out, and it was,
For sure.
it was so good to look at.
Reminds me of Bambi at the end of April Showers.
Uh-huh. It was the same
Boom.
sequence type of thing.
Boom.
That whole
Boom.
song, the guy
Boom.
playing Jose has the voice of an angel.
Yeah, he's so good.
His singing.
And then the sequence ends with the really cool lighting shift.
That's the
And
lighting.
I'm sorry,
shift I
but it was
wanna
the
talk
Yeah.
TikTok colors.
Where he's in
It was
Red.
it was pink and blue.
Blue, yeah.
But it was it
he's
just
in-
flashed. It
just
was
in silhouette.
It reminded me
Again.
of Fantasia when they had Mickey in front of the color.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like all of the things in Bambi, when every time they have the color, it's like the color on the back and the light on the front. And like during the fights, they did it was the blue and the orange. I just like Bambi, and that's why I want to compare everything to.
I understand.
You have
But-
Bambi, I have Spider-Verse.
But like that's for a movie that isn't like particularly, it's not like the best of Disney animation, like it's their normal cartoon animation, but then you have moments like that are just so
Again, it came out of nowhere again, where there's like none of that lighting, then all of a sudden it goes, pew, and then immediately he ends the song with "Have you been to Bahia?" But Bahia,
My
Been
next
to
two notes were
Bahia?
no, he hasn't been to Bahia. He's never. Oh, and then Donald was like, "Have you been to Bahia?" And they were like, "No." And I said, "He's never been." I was getting angry.
He loves it so much he's never been.
Have you
there.
been? No. Well, this is it. Have you been? Have you been? No.
No.
Oh yeah, that's when there's like clones of himself.
Yeah, because he's doing the singing.
That's
Yeah.
when this movie starts to become an acid trip.
Starts.
The ending is the most acidy.
Well,
but
yeah, it's a gradual build
Where's
up.
this note?
But like there's such weird like logic with that, and he's like small, and then there's clones of him, and I like this movie makes me feel like I'm going insane, but that's what I really like about this movie, because you don't get that a lot with Disney.
Mhm.
And I think we open the third book. We meet red guy. I don't know his name.
Well, before that, there's the whole sequence where they actually go to Bahia, and there's the
Oh, that's where this is from. Yes, they get on the book train.
book train.
And I said, yes, get on
That's-
the book train.
That's who I wanted to talk about. Mary Blair has a very distinctive style. She's the one who like works on this train. She does a lot of other Disney movies. She's the main artist who kind of set the style for Alice in Wonderland. She designed everything for It's a Small World.
Oh, then I know who you're talking about.
That's where I knew that name from. It's a Small World. Okay.
Yeah.
I watched, I think, a documentary.
This whole sequence, this is entirely just Mary Blair when they're on the train, and my understanding is this trip is what gave her the style that she got, where it's very like flat and very bright colors.
Yeah. My next note is real woman, because we see a real woman.
Who Donald lusts
Oh my
after.
god.
That is one of my favorite like effects they do though, is how they have the projection in the room in the back. You can very much tell it's a different quality, but it's still really cool.
They're trying to figure out how to do this properly.
Well, because there's a lot of, you can tell when it's drawn over, and then when it's, the back is a projection that these actors are like dancing with.
There's a lot of times when it was projection, like where Donald and Jose would like make noise, but their mouths wouldn't move, like nothing would happen, and it was very weird.
It's because they probably didn't know what noises they were gonna make, so they just kind of had like a basic this.
Yeah. And then at one point, there's like stuff happening on the book while it's open. There's people, and I said Kingdom Hearts Winnie the Pooh book be like, because it was just people existing on these pages. And it was I wrote it down for Xander.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
Is there anything Kingdom Hearts for this?
Kingdom Hearts Corner. The Three Caballeros have never shown up in Kingdom Hearts, but I really want them to. I would love just like.
But you're
Donald
talking the new one?
I'm trying to figure like
for
Jose
KH4?
of
course I'm excited for KH4. Are you kidding me?
I know. I've seen trailers of it recently, and I was like, oh.
I've seen like one frame from that trailer.
Oh, do you not want to see anything about
Xander
it?
said not.
I am not allowing Jake to see anything because we're going through the series.
Yes, we are.
KH4 trailer looks really good. I've seen it multiple times.
I guess I'm glad I didn't see you say what I saw in it, because I was about to talk about that, so I won't.
I mean, you can say it.
No, it's okay. I'll let him find it out.
Okay.
For the 0 other people that are in love with Kingdom Hearts like Xander is, watch it. It's cool. If you don't like Kingdom Hearts, watch it. It's still kind of cool.
Try it out.
I don't like Kingdom Hearts, and I watched it and I was like, actually, that kind of looks dope.
You would like 3. You would like 3 because it's the most like.
I like the rhythm game.
Cinematic. You like the rhythm game?
Yeah. I just like rhythm games though.
That's crazy. That makes sense.
Danganronpa rhythm game.
Yeah, the how you defeat everyone is a rhythm game. But the thing about the Danganronpa one is that the timing doesn't match until the last fucking game. That's when they actually got, the characters have their own themes that you play to. And it actually makes sense. The other ones are just like, it's going do 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 do, and you're sitting here going like do 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 do. It's like, I fucking hate rhythm games like that.
I said that just because I knew you would get mad about it.
Yes, the Danganronpa rhythm games. I love that team, but whoever made the rhythm game was dumb. I couldn't think of a different insult.
This is the sequence where Jose.
Hold on, before that I have one more note, because it was funny. When he comes out of the book and he's smushed, he looks like a Goomba.
Yeah.
And I wrote it down because I was like,
that's the
funny.
end of the sequence. Never
It's the
mind.
very end.
And then is this before? It's like the middle part where Donald becomes a woman, right? It's like right at the end of the Vaya sequence.
I don't think so.
There's the one thing. No, it's a little further in, but he talks about there. It's at the end of the movie where he's like, there's pretty ladies, and he just turns into a woman for a second, and it's really scary.
Before I say my note about that, we'll go on to the red guy section because I really don't know his name.
Well, wait a second. This is the joke you like, where the hammer space joke happens.
Hammer space.
I just wanted to highlight it because it's really funny that Jose is like, no, Donald, calm down, and then hands him a hammer. That's my favorite joke in the movie.
It is really funny.
There's the sequence where Jose like blows himself back up, and then Donald tries to do the same, and is
Squiggly Donald.
I love Squiggly Donald. That's what we call him, Noodle Donald.
He's our little noodle boy.
It just turns into you're using the wrong finger.
There was a joke that we made that was really funny when we watched it about. It was like, this is me at the doctor.
You said me at the doctor's or something, and it was because he was like, I forgot what he was doing, and then there was the one part where his legs wide open. And I said, me at the doctor's. Because I don't know why you said it.
I don't remember.
Something happened.
I'd have to
Oh,
watch.
it was because he was inflating his hand, and it was like you were referencing the glove, the rubber
yes,
glove,
it was
and
that.
then it went into him like with his legs spread wide open, and it's like showing it to the camera, and I just said me at the doctor's, and you laughed really hard. That was
really funny.
So they open the third present. We see the soundtrack.
He comes back from.
I hate that
My
Donald
boy.
gets sucked into the soundtrack.
Yes.
It's the scariest moment for me.
Can I please get the name of the red bird?
Conchito Pistoles. Conchito.
Okay, I did not hit reset at first. I was like,
You just went blank. Oh, are you talking about the Araquan bird?
Yes.
I thought you were talking
no,
about the third
I was
Caballero.
talking about the third.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the.
No, not the Woody Woodpecker.
Oh, yeah.
Looking one.
He's a guy.
I love him.
I don't know how I feel about the Araquan bird.
He comes out of the movie. He comes out of his film in the movie
And then puts it back.
steals a cigar and then leaves the film of the movie. Of the
Yeah.
entire movie.
Well, because you've seen this movie a lot.
I've seen this movie a fair number of times. I showed it to you a
I don't
couple of
think
times.
I've ever seen any of these movies that we've covered today.
Yeah,
As long
that
as
checks
it's-
out. I mean,
Three,
what did you think of Three Caballeros, though?
I might have seen it one time, maybe, but it was entertaining. I don't have a lot of notes because I was actually watching this. The
That's
second
good.
movie, I was writing, which is why I don't have any notes.
Right.
This one, I was like actually watching it, and I was making jokes out loud that
The next-
aren't funny for like later, that are just funny in the moment. But
Yeah.
it was a good movie. It was very funny.
The next movie that you, I bet, have seen that we're going to cover is The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Yep.
And
Yes,
we
we
still
watched
have
that
1, 2,
about a
3,
year ago.
4. We have 5 movies to get through before we even get to one that you've seen before.
I really like the Ichabod and like the headless horseman one.
I'm so glad you do. I hate it. But
That makes me so sad.
I know. Every time I say it, you guys are like, that's sad.
It
I'm
just
like,
doesn't make sense to me. I don't get hating that movie.
It's just.
And I like the Toad part. I love it.
Do you at least like the ride?
The ride's fun.
That was my last ride in the park. My last Disney trip. Was
Hell yeah.
Wild Ride.
Mine
So
was.
you ended your trip in hell?
My last Disney
And
trip
instead
was
of the
Haunted
ride,
Mansion.
like
That was
I
my
swear to God, by
last one.
5%, I was speeding through that ride. It was wild. But no, I went through hell. I was like, hell, done. And
Wow.
yeah, I wanted to bring that up as well.
You know, I know it's supposed to be fun when you go through the hell and it's hot, but when it's
Way
But when
too
it's hot outside, you're
but
like,
when it's
not
hot
again.
but when it's hot outside and you get in that room and it's sitting there for a little bit, you're just like, ow, please stop.
Oh, I guess speaking of rides, what do we think of the Three Caballeros ride in Disney World?
It's okay.
It's
It's
fine.
a
It's
little
one of
boat
the-
ride. It's
It's kind of like
the overall building for it's really cool. The like the
Yes.
the temple.
and then the inside where it's got like the bar with like the horchata and stuff, and then there's like all the
The
little
restaurant, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, then I don't know what the actual thing. It's Cinco de Mayo, like the and Coco-esque
Yes.
type of.
Oh yeah, it's Coco right now
Yeah.
inside there. Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess that makes sense. That's
Yeah.
like their popular Mexican property that
Yeah.
they've
Yeah,
done
it's
recently.
it gives me a like it's a small world vibe to where it's like I'm not like I'm sure there is people that want to go on that ride, but like going on that ride again, it's one of those things where it's air conditioned and it's cute.
And yeah,
like
you sit down. For
there's
10 minutes. Something. It's
And there's
it's a long ride.
and you can walk right on.
yes, I was like
yeah.
we didn't we went through it and just walked on, and then when we got off, there was still no one in line, which is because everyone wants to go to the big rides, which I get. But like if you've
Like
been
Soarin'
at
and-
Disney all day, it's just fun to like, oh, we're walking through Mexico, let's go on that ride, because it's just like you can even have drinks on that ride because there's nothing like droppy or anything. Like I had my drink when I went
Yeah.
onto the ride. I mean, I'm sure there's people where you're not technically supposed to have them, but the girl let me have it, and I
Yeah.
had my drink, and I was sitting there just drinking some stuff while we were.
I mean, it's a lot of screens. That's kind of the
Yeah.
biggest knock against it.
Yeah, and like
Oh.
half the time the animatronics at the end for the bird,
Yeah.
specifically the bird. Someone's almost always there, but the birds like they constantly go down and they're pinning up just cardboard cutouts basically.
Yeah, which that's always
It's a
disappointing.
little funky.
That's
When
that's
we
like
went,
that's
though,
the main appeal of the ride is
Is that
seeing-
it's them.
Yeah.
We saw them though, because we were stuck there for 15 minutes.
Yes. Because it gets so backed up.
Yes.
For no reason, because there's not a lot of riders. It
No,
just
I know.
gets backed up.
There's just boats that they have to keep sending through that are getting backed up.
And so we go through this whole...
The Three Caballeros song happens, which is an absolute
And
banger.
they say they're gay.
They're three gay caballeros.
They
And I
are
wrote, at some point, they are gay.
Which, I mean...
But they're also bisexual, because they see a woman, they're like...
Oh, when they're all
"Woman."
talking about, like, we're three caballeros, three gay caballeros, and the, like, girl walks by and they're all like, ooh, woman.
Basically, anytime they...
They're raving bisexuals. That's
Yeah.
what's happening. They'll fuck each other, but fuck any woman.
Good for them.
And then my last note... I'm gonna let you read it before I say it.
I'm very scared. No, you don't need to say that. You can say that at the end when we actually get to the part.
No, I think you should say that.
We talked about it before we went backwards. They
Don't get
so
talking
much
about
shame
women,
right now.
and Donald makes himself into a woman, and I said, woman Donald woman Donald would be fuckable.
We're learning a lot of your fetishes that they keep hiding back.
They're funny.
The fetishes you have?
The jokes.
It is a funny joke. I wouldn't say Woman Donald is fuckable, but hey, I won't
Woman
kink shame.
Donald would be fuckable.
It's the bill. I can't get past the bill, you know?
I need a soundbite of that.
I was trying to take a drink.
There's the whole pinata segment.
Yeah.
Which it's weird that there was a time that people didn't know what a pinata was, because that's just a staple of birthday parties now.
I didn't know it was a Christmas thing.
I was interested to learn that it's a Christmas tradition. All we use it for nowadays in at least America is
Birthdays. Which
It's
I guess Christmas is a birthday.
It's a of Jesus.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I guess it's not wrong.
But yeah, it's interesting that you go to Walmart and there's an aisle where it's just
Just
pinatas.
pinatas, yeah.
And you
I
don't
wonder-
think that Christmas.
I wonder what
It's like Batman.
It's
who
also-
the American was that made that a thing. Where it's I went to Mexico. Oh, sorry, I forgot Google exists. But
We're just not gonna.
because
look
I
at the
never
show.
as a kid I never thought twice about having a pinata. But now it's thinking about it, I'm we just kind of stole that.
Yeah, it was always
from-
pinata. I think it was just us being we want to hit things with
Yeah,
a stick and
and
blindfolded.
and then also if it's a Christmas thing, because they were talking about how once someone actually let these children into their house, it was a celebration, and I don't know where they got the food from. Did they just eat the person's food? That then all these kids walked into a random house and said, "Do you have shelter?" And he's like, "Yeah," and then this person just gave them all their food. And
Do they just decide that in advance?
Yeah, do they-
everyone in the town.
Because they said that was a Christmas tradition, and if that is a tradition, why is everyone saying no shelter? Nope, no shelter.
And then one person just has to make a shit ton of food, I guess.
Yeah, one person, this one family's house is shit. There's 400 kids we need to feed. Make a pinata, hurry.
What happened? Do the kids know? Can they just pick any house?
And
Because if they pick that one first, that kind of ruins the whole thing.
Yeah.
The point is then for those kids to fucking suffer, you know?
Yeah.
The entire point is to suffer and eventually lose hope before there's finally a light. And then also, how do the parents prep the kids? What do they do? It's hey, go play with your friends, and then there's 300 kids in the courtyard, and then just all the lights turn off, and their parents aren't there, and they're go home, go to people's houses. I don't know where I live. How does that start? Where do they drop off their kids? Do the kids know what's happening?
I think the only times I think I've only had one pinata for a birthday. It was Diego.
I used to have a pinata every year.
I think it was only once or twice. I only remember one. That's weird.
I am finding no information on when pinatas became popular in America, and I'm wondering if any of it has to do with this movie.
I really hope not. That'd be funny. Actually, that'd be one of the funniest
It
things
would make
I've ever heard.
sense for it to come out and then everyone's yeah, Disney.
But it's
pinatas.
specifically in this says Christmas.
Yeah. So I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know
why
it
would
would
people
become
just
a-
be doing it normally?
If this movie had anything on it, it would have to be during they would. I feel it would be a Christmas thing.
Talking about pinatas, and I think you think about is the Cat in the Hat sequence where he's the pinata.
Where he's the pinata.
Uh-huh. He's about to beat some kids with a fucking rake.
That movie's brutal, man.
From this point on, it's a lot of dancing.
Yep.
And this is where my attention dips in this movie. It happens every time I watch this movie, where I'm having a great time, and then it's a lot of dancing. And then nothing notable until they get to the beach.
The beach. The best part of the
Holy
movie
shit.
where he's
Donald
like,
was just harassing women. What do you call them? My little enchilada?
he called one of them, specifically this Spanish woman, "Come here, my little enchilada," and it's like,
That's
Why, Donald?
that ain't it.
so
Sorry,
he's doing like the weird like old thing where a man would be blindfolded and chase women around. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get ya.
He really just feels like a creepy old man.
Yes.
That's what
There's so
all of his lines are just weirdly like, you can tell this was not written by someone who's like got riz. It was like, come here, little lady.
Oh my God! Don't ever.
That's the closest thing I could think about to what I wanted to say.
It's so funny because just every time Donald speaks, it's just like a, "Hey babe, hey sugar tits," and I hate it. It makes me feel so uncomfortable. Early Donald is scary.
So I'm just looking this up just because like it's weird that they have this be Donald's character when Daisy existed at this point.
That is weird for him to be like, ladies.
But isn't it the entire thing? It's like, yes, they're together, but they're not together back then.
Maybe?
Because like, same with like, isn't like still a thing where like Mickey and Minnie haven't gotten married. I don't think either Donald or Daisy has.
Yeah.
Goofy and Clarabelle, I guess, were a thing for a little bit and then stopped.
Here's the other interesting thing. Daisy only appeared in 11 shorts between 1940 and 1954. She's like a main member of the cast, and she only appeared in 11 shorts.
I think it was just because it was kind of like the female opposite of Donald. So
They
it was
just needed someone to fill out the roster.
Yeah, because they never like again that's when did Clarabelle become a thing?
Clarabelle?
Clarabelle's pretty early.
I know, but when did she like become like Goofy's other?
Yeah, I don't know if that happens until Three Musketeers.
Yeah,
I was like, I think that's about the first time.
Because that's the only time I've seen that be the case.
because Clarabelle is still, I would say, part of the main cast of that.
Yeah, she
More just got a costume at Disney for some.
The Pride. Have you seen the Pride one? Oh,
I have not seen the Pride one.
So it's so cool because whoever was playing Clarabelle, kill it. Fucking, they were doing a Pride dance. And let me tell you, I was like, she is popping. I'll show you the video after this.
Okay.
I was like, she is popping the fuck off right now.
Oh, no, yeah, they finally introduced Clarabelle costumes into the parks.
Had they not
recently.
before?
Not really.
They did have them.
They did. It just wasn't.
When was it?
You can look at the District Dan video about it, but.
District. Whoa.
That's,
Sorry.
Sorry, that's where I learned it.
I know. It's just I haven't watched those videos in so long.
I think isn't it History?
I think so. Something like
I
that.
don't know. His name's Dan.
I know exactly who you're talking about,
And
though,
he
and that's what scared me.
reviews costumes every now and again for whenever new ones come out.
I've like seen a couple of his videos. I never became
I love
hooked on
them.
them.
What do you think this year's Boogie Bash is going to be for the costumes?
I have no
I'm excited.
idea. Sid better be there this coming year.
Sid?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he was there last year.
Yeah, but he better be here this year.
So badly.
Wanted
What?
to be the Kingdom Hearts one.
Yeah.
They did it last year, though. I don't think they're going to do it this year again.
Yeah, I know. That's what makes me so sad.
They may. People love the Kingdom Hearts one, not gonna like.
Yeah, it's a very it's like
The
niche,
Sora
but
thing still makes me mad, though. When they made Mickey Sora, and it's like, that's
Yeah,
not-
it's like why
I don't-
not put him in his. If
I-
you're gonna pull from the game, put him in his costume from the game.
I don't
He's in
even
his
like.
He was in his costume from the game.
Mm-hmm.
He was. That is
There
Mickey's
was
costume in the game.
One of them, I thought he was in Sora's stuff.
No, the red outfit that Mickey has.
Well,
that's,
we just
that's
got
from
to
the
it in
game.
Cage 2, where
Yeah.
he takes his cloak off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anyways, sorry.
Sorry, movie. ADHD rabbit hole.
Yeah,
we
we're
went
talking
down.
about these 3 movies.
We're on the last one. It's okay.
The last segment is the "You Belong to My Heart" segment.
I hate the You Belong to It's acid trip of a thing.
It starts out meh, and then it just gets fucking wild. Once this duck is horny, it goes crazy.
It goes absolutely crazy. Yeah, this one I don't have a lot of comment about. It's cool colors. It looks pretty. I don't know what
A
the
lot
fuck's
of neon.
happening. A lot of neon.
It's hard to talk about this because it's more of an aesthetic experience than a story-driven experience.
Yeah.
We can't talk about the plot. We can't talk about like performances or anything like that. It's all in the visuals.
Yeah.
So like all we can say is like that was interesting.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this one, just specifically watch the end. You'll
You
understand.
should. If you're really committed to this podcast, watch along. Watch the movies along. It'll make our ramblings make more sense.
Yeah. Or if you just know them. If you have if you have all of them memorized by heart.
Like I do.
Yeah, like Xander. If you're a Xander out there.
If you're Xander.
If you're Xander, watch along. No, the ending is cute. It's fun.
There's the cactuses.
That's my favorite part in that.
Yeah.
I like the cactuses, and then it turns into a woman.
The cactus turns into a woman.
And then the woman turns into a cactus.
Yeah.
And then the very last thing is the bullfight. And it's...
Oh, they put things in his ass.
What?
Oh yeah, the
They-
dynamite
it's
sticks.
dynamite.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
It's not in his ass. It's they shove him into each butt cheek.
It's more of a butt cheek thing, but
This is just the point where
I don't know what's happening anymore.
we thoroughly lost the plot, and then the movie ends, and that's it.
The
It
red, white,
shows-
and blue finish.
Yes, it
This
shows
has
the
been-
3 flags. That said, it's like decent enough time. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Decent enough time, 7 out of 10. Yeah, it's good. It's out of all of the 3 we watched, this is the
It's
best
the most
one.
enjoyable.
How many caballeros out of 5?
I can't say this word, and I don't know why.
Which word?
Caballero.
Caballero.
Yeah, caballero. I can never say it. But let's go.
Okay. Jake, you go first.
We'll give my short waters for this one. It's gotta be high because I only have a few notes and they're all high, so I'm gonna do it as an 8 out of 10
Great.
because that's just I'm going off the notes. 8 out of 10 waters. What do I want to give this? I'm gonna give this a. I'm gonna give this we're doing it a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5.
Fair enough. Trevor?
Mine was a 3.5 out of 5.
Same here.
Hey, fuck you, Jake. You're different.
No, fuck you. I'm different.
No, it's.
Anywho, this is the most boring episode we've had.
Yeah. Well, because all of them are like documentaries. 2 of them, all of them, every single one of them is a documentary.
Yeah.
Just the last one has less
Animation.
documentary parts.
Hopefully we're able to make some of these other live action movies more interesting
Yeah,
because
it's-
oh my god.
It's just like they're cute. The last one being my most favorite one out of the 3 we watched. That one I could like, out of all of them to like watch again. That if these 3 movies were the last things to ever exist, the 3 Caballeros would be the ones I watched.
What a dark timeline if these 3 are the only ones.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in the world to make that happen, but these are the only 3 movies left. The last one is my favorite, and probably the only one I would watch again. Because let me tell you, the plane one, oh my Jesus, I thought I was gonna die. It was 40 minutes, and I was sitting there, and I was like,
And this is the first time frustration. I don't see any reason why I'm watching any one of these 3 movies ever again. There's just
Not even parts of 3 Caballeros?
Don't
Not even
think
like
so.
the song? Wow.
No, like I don't see a time me being bored saying I'm gonna watch the 3 Caballeros.
Yeah, like it's.
But
just
like
a
if I'm
revisit.
ever like going to like Disney World again or something, I'd be like, like just to get into the mood, I guess I'd watch it. 'Cause
Sure.
it's part of it. Again, I'd watch other movies before that one, but
Only 3 cameras.
But again, out of all of them, that's the best one. It's actually fun. I don't feel like I'm getting lectured about my knowledge on
Yeah.
anything.
Trevor, I have a very important question for you. You are the only one of us 3 who has seen the TV show, The Legend of the 3
Oh
Caballeros.
yes, the TV show is not bad. If you like DuckTales or like 3 Caballeros.
Okay, that's what I want.
A lot of people have seen DuckTales and know what that's about, and it's the same vibe. It is-
Which I love the new DuckTales. I adore that show.
It's just those 3 going on adventures.
That's cool.
And that's all DuckTales is. It's just the sons and cousin. Who's the girl? Is it a cousin?
She's just a person.
She's just a friend, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's them going on adventures, and it's like the story of them and them meeting new people and having their little like clique of people and going through the adventures and stuff. That's all it is, and it's so fun. It's just fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
There's not that much different about it. Like, it's cute.
It's cute. All right, guys. Thank you so much for
God,
listening.
I'm so sorry for
seriously,
this one.
Thank you so much for
listening.
listening.
If you're listening to this ending right, if you're here right now on whatever time it's been, thank you, because even we struggled through this one.
You know what? Here, you utilize that Q&A. If you make it to this point, let us know you made it to this point. I don't know. It would mean a lot to us.
You can also genuinely ask questions because we can't answer them.
Yeah,
we will. We can answer.
Yeah, we'll answer questions.
Just because, again, I'm not changing it from not being a Q&A because we're not popular enough to have ads down there, unless we pay for the ads.
Yeah.
And what is the other one? It's a poll. We don't have anything to poll about.
Yeah.
Unless you want to make a poll. Which one's your best?
What one's out of these three movies? What is your favorite?
These three movies, which one's your favorite and why?
In 3 to 5 sentences.
In about 2 paragraphs, tell me why. Do
email it
in a
to
week.
crackthevault@gmail.com. Email your resume.
Resume?
Your papers.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Subscribe on Spotify.
Yeah.
You can follow all 3 of us on Letterboxd.
Yeah, we do
If
have a
you have
Letterboxd. We're not going to tell you what it is.
You need to find it.
You can find our names on Letterboxd.
Yeah, you can see which ones, but we do.
Look at our 4 favorites and take a guess. Like,
don't wait, no, no. I only have one favorite.
Exactly.
Of mine, and no one will know that movie. No one knows what my favorite movie is.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
Till next time, guys. See ya.
This has bye crackers.
Bye crackheads.
Nope,
and crack
that's not
friends.
it.
That's what we call them, crackers.
Crack heads and crack friends.